Good morning, Illini. I'm Sammy St. Ledger.
And I'm Connor Seco. It's Friday, March 5th, and it's our third show of the semester. Thank you so much for joining us this morning.
All right. Connor, technically today is unofficial. Very highly controversial holiday on campus, and what are you thinking about it?
Yeah, see, I myself am not going to be participating. We are still in the middle of a global pandemic, but I know that college kids are going to be college kids. People are going to hang out with each other, and they're not going to let it stop them for better or worse. So.
Yes, definitely. I would say we're just hoping that regardless of what happens, that everyone on campus stays safe. And for those of them that are secretly celebrating, we can hope that at least mass social distancing, hand sanitizer, the whole 9 yards, because obviously we are glad that our campus has been doing very well as of recently, but we for sure want to make sure everybody is staying safe. All right, well, we have got a lot in store today. Let's take a look at what's coming up. We'll get the details on the FDA's approval of the saliva-based COVID-19 test, which is obviously a very huge milestone for the university. I'm very excited about it, Connor.
Yeah, it's such a huge thing now that it's been FDA approved. We can start rolling it out across the country, across the state, and make it so that more people have access to it. And it's such an incredible thing to finally be happening. And later, we'll take a look at a student's reaction to the dozens of flat tires in Urbana this past week. This was a wild story, Sammy. Have you ever had to change a tire?
No.
It's annoying. It's really annoying. But hey, for now, let's go outside to our weather anchor of the week, Scarlett O'Hara, to see how it's feeling out there.
After breaking out the t-shirts and shorts this past week, we will continue to see this gorgeous sun and moderate temperatures heading into the weekend. Whether you bring a jacket outside is totally up to you. I forgot mine today, but it doesn't matter because we're seeing high temperatures of 48 degrees and a low of 29. I'll be back with the details later.
All right. Well, the University of Illinois System's COVID-19 test was authorized by the Food and Drug Administration this week. Good morning, Illini. Sabrina Lee is live with the details on this milestone. Sabrina?
That's right. This is a huge milestone for the Shield Illinois team, as this authorization enables the test to expand above and beyond the university system. On Monday, the University of Illinois System's saliva-based COVID-19 test, known as COVID Shield, received the emergency use authorization from the Food and Drug Administration. This authorization allows for the test to be adopted and distributed on a wider scale, and 7 high-capacity labs in Illinois have been identified to help process the tests. Governor J.B. Pritzker says that he will be dedicating $20 million of CARE Act funding to pay for 1 million COVID tests for public universities across the state of Illinois. Ben Taylor, spokesperson for Shield Illinois, says that demand for the test has already increased. So far, U of I systems have administered over 1.5 million COVID tests across their Urbana-Champaign, Chicago, and Springfield campuses. It seems that soon, students will be facing the same dilemma as we do now here. Are you Team Straw or Team Funnel? With Good Morning Illini, I'm Sabrina Lee. Back to you in the studio.
Thanks, Sabrina. University students and staff rely on the saliva test to keep them safe. But earlier this week, the university warned against a more infectious COVID-19 variant, B.1.1.7, in a mass mail. The mass mail stated that the variant has already been detected on campus and that they will continue to identify variant cases as they emerge. According to the CDC, this new variant, which was first detected in the UK, is more infectious and will likely be the dominant variant of COVID-19 in the US beginning this month. Luckily, the Champaign-Urbana Health Department stated that there is evidence that the vaccine is effective against this strain.
Even with the vaccine, it is still important to wear a mask, but you may have noticed many single-use masks littered on the ground outside. In an effort to help recycle these types of face coverings, the university has created 50 stations around campus that collect them after they have been used. According to University Facilities and Services, all you need to do is put the mask in a sealed bag, place the bag into a box, and then sanitize or wash your hands after completing the drop-off. Some of those locations to do so include the Illini Union, Lincoln Hall, and Weston Hall. Okay, well, preferences on masks I know have been a huge debate on campus. I personally prefer the disposable ones, but that being said, I'm very eco-friendly, so I love seeing that the university is taking steps to make sure we don't create too much waste.
Yeah, the disposable masks get a little icky in the cold though, so I'm sticking with my cloth masks. And hey, we are now in our third semester navigating the pandemic as college students. So academics have really been their own challenge, and how some students spend their time outside of the classroom still remains a hot topic. Students on social media have been debating whether it remains unsafe to attend campus bars and whether or not the campus bars are following COVID guidelines. Some students are choosing to stay at home, while others believe it's a personal choice. We heard from 2 students on the quad as to what their take is. Let's take a look.
Well, I think safe is relative. I think that if you wear your mask and follow the rules, then it's just you're making a personal decision.
I'm a second semester senior. I understand what this is like. I also had my whole senior year stolen from me. I want to be at the bars. I want to be doing stuff and doing all these things. But I have older parents and I go home. I don't want to be spreading this disease.
Moving to more surprising news, on Monday morning, over 100 people in West Urbana began reporting their car tires had been slashed. University of Illinois student Alan Parton sent us his reaction when he woke up to the bad news.
As well as apparently a bunch of other cars in the neighborhood, had their tires slashed. Fortunately, our cars are fine. Don't know how that works, but...
According to the city of Urbana, the suspect is believed to be a single male who was walking around the neighborhood during the overnight hours of Sunday until the morning hours of Monday. Many of the cars were taken to True Tires in Urbana for repairs. The investigation is ongoing, and the Urbana police are asking for help finding the suspect. Anyone with further information, photographs, or video recordings is encouraged to call the Urbana Police Department at 217-384-2320.
The Champaign side of Wright Street could see the beginning of a major construction project this month. Good Morning Illini's Perry Apostolakos is at Illini Hall with the latest. Perry?
Well, Connor, according to the University of Illinois, bidding for the demolition of Illini Hall, which is located right here behind me, is set to take place this month. Getting rid of this historic building will make way for a new 6-story structure to take its place. Illini Hall has worn many hats over the years. It once served as the University YMCA, which is now located down the street. It has also served as the Student Union. At one point, the offices of the Daily Illini newspaper and the Illio yearbook were inside. Construction will start right away once Illini Hall is knocked down. The overall timeline for the renovation is subject to change, but it is set to be completed by February 2024, just in time for this year's freshman class to enjoy the new structure as seniors. For Good Morning Illini, I'm Perry Apostolakos. Back to you in the studio.
Taking another look on the Champaign side of campus, the city announced an initiative to improve pedestrian and traffic safety along Green Street. The city placed barricades and additional no parking signs in the center turn lane in Campus Town. Many people had been previously leaving their car in the middle of the road due to rapid food takeouts. According to the city of Champaign, these changes were necessary to prevent illegal parking in the center turn lane and to reduce any chances of accidents occurring. While this can be seen as a positive, the question of where cars will be able to park for pickups still remains.
So I think because they did shut down Green Street, they should open up more options for public parking. But I think as a student, this is a safer option.
Now this week was absolutely beautiful outside, so let's check back in with Scarlett O'Hara to see what the weather this weekend is going to look like.
Can't complain about the forecast ahead. We're looking at moderate temperatures and fairly clear skies for the weekend. Right now we're seeing a high of 48 degrees and low of 29. Beautiful sunny skies today, perfect for the National Day of Unplugging. As soon as you're done with your online work, I'd recommend going outside and taking advantage of the slightly chilly but bearable weather. Saturday is set to be partly cloudy, still with perfect conditions to spend time outside. This is great news because guess what? It's National Oreo Day. It's true, look it up. So grab a box and enjoy the high of 51 degrees and low of 26 because we're in for a beautiful Saturday. We're finishing this weekend strong with a mostly sunny high of 57 degrees and low of 38. It'll be a bit warmer for National Cereal Day. Sunday brunch outside, anyone? Even though it won't be the warmest, I think I'm most excited for Saturday, so catch me out on the quad with a box of Oreos, but definitely not a jacket. Back to you.
Well, speaking of weather, Good Morning Illini's Humberto Gil Sanchez took a trip to the quad this week to capture what students were up to with the nice weather. The high this week was 57 degrees and very sunny, which brought a lot of students out of their apartment and onto the quad. People were out with their dogs reading on the quad, and simply some were just taking in the sunlight. Some students even took the opportunity to train for the color guard. Hopefully everyone watching had a chance to get outside this week. Connor, what'd you do for the nice weather?
So I went out with some of my friends out to a park right over by Parkland College and experimented with a sport that not a lot of people are familiar with. We've got that coming up in a little bit.
Yes, it was lovely. I know me and some kids at my house got to watch the Fighting Illini play outside, watch the basketball game. So that was awesome, and looking forward to any other good weather in our future. Also looking ahead, the Illini Fest is this weekend on Sunday, March 7th at 7. The past couple celebrations have been in person in Chicago, but due to the pandemic, it's been moved online. The university is inviting alumni, students, faculty, and staff for an evening to show what the university has been up to.
We're going to impress you, we're going to inspire you, we're going to motivate you, we're going to show our alums what we've been working on at the University of Illinois. 2020 was a very challenging year, but as Chancellor Jones always said, we emerged as an Illini community resilient from that.
At go.illinois.edu/Illini Fest. And again, it will be Sunday, March 7th at 7.
Illini Sports Night was this past Tuesday. Dylan Kolak from the men's gymnastic team showed off his skills, but also his fails on TikTok. Let's check it out.
Illinois gymnast Dylan Kolak posted his first few videos on the popular social media app TikTok about a year ago. As luck would have it, it only took 7 videos before Kolak went viral, the first time.
I think it was like a vault progression video.
We're a bunch of circus, performers, right? Like it's to the layman's human being. So I think inherently we have a lot of ability to produce content that is kind of very viral and engaging.
I did gymnastics for one day, about 30 minutes in first grade. I was not good, even a little bit.
The question is, though, can you do a backflip?
If I want to break my neck, I can.
All right, well, we're going to take a quick break, but when we come back, we'll hear from GMI's Maddie Chemers about how students have been navigating bad Wi-Fi connection on campus and more.
Hear someone go, "Didn't it come from you guys?"
Strangers cough at me.
Move away from me.
Someone spit towards my direction. All the stereotypes that we've worked so hard to break are just going to be reversed. And I won't let that happen.
We all have to play our part.
I donate my plasma.
I've been making masks.
We deserve respect as much as everybody else.
I'm a firefighter, not a virus.
I'm a mask maker, not a virus.
I'm a nurse.
I'm a delivery woman, chef, a neighbor, artist,
Bus driver.
I'm a doctor.
Fight the virus. Fight the virus.
Roll over. Chance high five. All right. When you adopt a shelter pet, you discover all the things that make them unique. And your mother and... I am totally a hot person. Right, guys? Thanks for being honest. They're a little bit of a lot of things, but they're all pure love. Adopt pure love at theshelterpetproject.org.
It all can get so out of control. Sometimes you can lose your faith, you can lose your mind, lose your grip, get stripped of your pride till you don't know how you're gonna stay alive. Hey, hey, I got you. I will give you what you need, and I'll be right there. I got you back. I got you.
And we are back with more Good Morning Illini. March is Women's History Month, and this morning, GMI's Amanda Brennan had the chance to talk to a woman in STEM who is focused on involving more women in STEM activities.
Student-run Illinois Space Society has over 100 members each year. Members get involved with 4 technical projects, educational outreach programs, as well as social and professional development events. This morning, I talked to the ISS director, Erica Jaroche, about her role in organizing the first Women in Technical Projects panel.
Hi, I'm Erica. This year I'm the director of the Illinois Space Society. Each year, like you said, we host 4 technical projects. 2 of them focus on rocketry. One of them is a tool design competition, and the other is a theoretical mission design competition. This past year, me and Shivani Ganesh, who is a senior in aerospace engineering, hosted the first Women in Technical Projects panel. One of the problems we run into with ISS each year is obviously in engineering. There's kind of a diversity problem with women involved in the technical projects. So we were hoping to increase those demographics this year. It was really fun. We hosted 6 different members from all across the different years. So we had a freshman, sophomore, junior, senior, and they talked about all the different tech projects they'd been involved in with ISS. So it was a lot of fun. We had about 25 attendees, women who were part of the projects, women freshmen who were interested in joining. We also had a couple male members join. I think that was really fun because they were asking about how to help women in tech. So overall, it was a really successful event. And one of the cool parts was the demographic form that we send out each year went from 21% female last year to 30% this year. So we think that those efforts kind of are helping our women in STEM get more involved in technical projects.
Yeah, that's a great program. It's something that I'm really glad that you put together. So I want to hear a little bit more about the technical projects that ISS has done in the past. Tell me a bit about those.
Yeah, for sure. So each year we compete in one large rocketry competition. Last year we competed in the NASA Student Launch Initiative, and this year we're competing in the International or Intercollegiate Rocket Engineering Competition called IREC. So typically those teams host 40 to 60 members across different sub-teams such as structures, payload, avionics. We have students from all kinds of engineering backgrounds, electrical, mechanical, aerospace, and they learn all about how a rocket works. So one of the things we focused on this year was upperclassmen teaching the underclassmen kind of the way of the land with those projects. So how they work is each year there's a competition objective. This year it's to reach 10,000 meters altitude. And so the IREC team has been working virtually, which is kind of a fun challenge to build that rocket for this year's competition.
Awesome. That's all the time we have for today. Thank you so much for joining us, Erica. I would also really quick like to congratulate you on earning a summer internship with SpaceX in California. That's amazing. Congratulations.
Thank you.
It is absolutely lovely to hear the story from Erica and the fact that she earned that summer internship to SpaceX during Women's History Month. To hear the story, it's great. And hey, Monday, we have International Women's Day coming up on March 8th, so take a look for that.
See, I would absolutely love to have an internship with SpaceX, but I'm not quite smart enough to work for SpaceX. I love space. Space is really cool. Like I took a couple of astronomy classes in high school. I have always wanted a telescope though. So what are your thoughts on space, Sammy?
I mean, it's pretty far away, as silly as that sounds. I don't think about space a lot. Although, I would love to. I know there's, speaking of women in space and NASA, there's a really great movie, Hidden Figures, about some of the first women that entered into that realm. And I just think it's really neat to learn about what we can see and what we might be able to accomplish in the future, that's for sure. But you know what, Connor? You can't do backflips, you can't get internships with a space organization. I don't know, man.
I'm sorry. I'm an all-around fairly useless human. All I'm good at is, eating food, sleeping, and studying. And hey, you know what? We all have one seat in every classroom that's sort of our go-to to study and learn. And with online learning, we don't have to fight over the best seat anymore. But we may have to compete for the internet. Good Morning Illini reporter Maddie Chemers explored how the University of Illinois prepared the internet for remote classes this year.
As we dive further and further into the digital age, there's one thing that continues to grow in demand: Wi-Fi. Wi-Fi, or wireless network, has become even more important during the pandemic since most students are attending school remotely.
Nearly a year into online learning, the university has kept the Wi-Fi up and running, even though there are less students on campus this year. Director for IT Infrastructure at Illinois Technology Services, Brad Mahaffey, explained that less students does not necessarily mean less Wi-Fi.
Today we have over 12,600 wireless access points. We realized that people were coming to campus with more than just a laptop.
Some students in private housing still experience internet connectivity issues. Junior Brenna Capusta lives in an apartment where the Wi-Fi has gone out, sometimes for days at a time.
You need it to go to classes. I've actually had lots of Wi-Fi problems during class, like professor's Wi-Fi cutting out or my Wi-Fi not being strong enough or whatever. And then that it ruins the learning experience because you're also not getting taught.
We've all been told to try resetting the Wi-Fi by turning it off and on again. While it is unclear if those tactics work, lead network engineer Debbie Flagger says there is at least one Wi-Fi myth that proves to be true.
The router in your house is doing two things for you. One, it's being the router for your internet, but it's almost guaranteed to have a built-in access point, which is the part that provides the Wi-Fi service. And it's absolutely true that the closer you are to one of those, typically the better it works.
As online learning continues, different programs that are not normally computer-based have had to transition to being online. The university is expanding the network in order to make things move more smoothly.
It should work everywhere on campus. Nobody should have to suck it up and say, this is just what you've got to deal with. And if it's not working, we'll do our best to make it work.
Places with the strongest Wi-Fi on campus are in university buildings and areas where students gather, but there is also internet in some parking lots as well.
Maddie, tell me, with the obviously spotty Wi-Fi sometimes, what is your favorite place to study on campus?
I really like to study outside the Union, especially when it gets nice out. I've been studying on the quad this week, so I'm really excited. Hopefully the weather stays good and I can keep that up. Back to you guys.
See, if you know me, then you'll know that as much as I like being inside and being connected, doing all that stuff on Wi-Fi that we know and love, I also love experiencing everything that the outdoors has to offer. And especially with how nice it was this week, I could not stay cooped up. So me and some friends went out to do something a little bit different. Let's take a look. Just a short drive from campus, at Parkland College, is Dodds Park. It has modern art, whatever this is, and disc golf. I went out with a couple of my friends to see what this game is all about.
It's a very personalized experience, and it gets me out of the house for a long time.
Austin has been playing disc golf for a year, and he started dragging me along back in November. The 18-hole course opened in 2014, and its 4,500-foot length sits on just over 100 acres of parkland, and it's recognized by the Professional Disc Golf Association. Disc golf is more fun with friends. So a few weeks ago, we decided to bring our friend Patrick out with us.
We really got into it a couple weeks ago here with Austin. This is my third time out here. Got some discs last time. It's fun. Good way to get outside and do some stuff.
I'm no slouch at disc golf myself, so I figured I'd show Patrick what a true professional looks like.
Okay, yeah, I'm not doing well.
At the end of the day, it's not the score that matters.
I don't know what the actual numbers are. We just keep track of who's leading by how many.
It's easier that way.
Yeah, we're not smart enough to do the real numbers.
But all that counts is that you had fun with friends outside. Yeah, so as you saw in that video, I am not good at disc golf, throwing frisbees, really anything athletic, but disc golf especially. Every so often I get a good throw, but most of them just end up going straight into the ground. Have you disc golfed before, Sammy?
In hindsight, actually, no, I never have, but there was always a disc golf area right across the street from my house growing up, so I might have to hit it up this summer. What I really want to know, though, Connor, right? You can, we saw disc golf skills, a little iffy, backflip skills, iffy. Can you actually golf?
See, that's a fantastic question. I can mini golf. I can't really do actual golf, though. The last time that I actually golfed was probably about a year ago. I was visiting my grandparents in Florida before the whole pandemic, and I went out for 9 holes with my grandfather and my grandmother. And I was doing fine. And then my grandpa was like, "Oh, you're holding the club wrong. Hold it like this." And then I could no longer hit balls. So I don't know what happened. But yeah, I don't know. Just the opportunity to be outside, no matter what you're doing, is really nice. Really nice. Sammy, I know you're an Evans scholar. I assume that you know how to golf.
Oh, I do. Let's see. If you ask an Evans scholar, what's the #1 question you get asked on campus? It's, so you golf? And to be fair, so I've caddied for 9 years about, which is, again, right, so I'm carrying golf bags for golfers in the hot sun. Wonderful profession. You make so many great friends through it, and obviously got a scholarship because of it. But it's funny because, so even my dad had a golf store, still has a golf store out in Illinois, and I was around golf so much growing up that I got to this point that I'm like, no, I'm not going to golf. So only within this past year, now that I'm away from everything, I've finally been golfing and actually have kind of started to fall in love with the game. I think it'll be something that I take far into the future. So, yes, and obviously we talked about it earlier in the show. So far this weekend, it's looking relatively nice. We know we're not sure exactly what will happen with campus, but we do know we might see students in and out. Looking forward to that Saturday, partly cloudy, 51. I'm going to not bring a jacket, and then I'm probably going to be cold because I'm always cold. But I am absolutely looking forward to it. And Sunday, Sunday, got all the sun out. I absolutely cannot wait to just sit outside and finally get in some fresh air. It's the break that we need from the pandemic for sure.
Yeah, most definitely. But hey, that's all the time that we have for our show today.
Be sure to follow us on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram. For more content, check out our website at ui7live.com/WP. Tune in next Friday at 11 a.m. for another episode. And as always, make it a good morning, Illini.
And starting next week, we have UI7 Live. Our first episode is next Wednesday, and it's going to be Monday and Wednesday till the end of the semester. For all that community news, everything that you want, check it out. It's going to be a good time. Sammy, you were on UI7 Live, right? You know what that's about.
Oh, it was a great experience. I got to do it all last semester and cover some great stories and some hard news stories and breaking news stories. So I definitely think it would be something very, very, very rewarding and informative to check into.
If you like this show, I think you'll appreciate UI7 Live. But like always, make it a good morning, Illini. Thanks for tuning in.